Hey guys, Professor Fat Shady from the University of Trials, and today I'm here to do a bit of a video, not a track creator feature or anything. This is a request from somebody called Bis Queffin. I told you, just next time be like Fred. But anyway, Bis Queffin, I think, has asked me to have a talk about and basically pick my top 3 tracks from in-game tracks from Trials Fusion, but then to, I guess, to explain why. So why not do that while I play it? So I think I'm gonna, yeah, this will be a little bit of a different video, but I thought it was an interesting question, and it really made me sit back and think about, like, you know, what to me makes a good track. I'll be honest and say right from the outset, you'll disagree with these, that's cool. This is my own personal view of the top 3 tracks within Trials Fusion, and I'll explain why. I would love to hear from people about what you think. I wish YouTube did polls. Maybe I couldn't be bothered doing it on Twitter. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you've got a different 3. I'd be interested to hear from people, and especially the reasons why. But I'm going to start. Oh, that sounded very loud. I'm going to start. My first one. Now, the reason why, so I'm going to pick Rock of Rages as, let's call it my number 3, and I'll count down to the number 1. Rock of Rages to me is special, and it was actually the first thing that I instantly said Rock of Rages is one of the 3. The reason for me is every time I sit down, now I don't know if anyone's watched me on Twitch or anything, but anytime I sit down to play a gaming session of Trials, I will probably just burn through with no real care or consideration, that was rubbish, a Rock of Rages run. I find this track, it's an extreme track, but I find the driving line is technical enough where it kind of just gets you back into the groove of things. It's not that difficult where you're having to spend 50,000 faults getting warmed up or anything. It's pretty quick to blast through it, and you kind of just do it to get warmed up, and I think I do that because I enjoy the track. It's a fun driving line. There's some really hard parts in it. You have to be on your game, but I can do a couple of fault run, hopefully. This will be awkward now. I'm not giving that section. That is, it's technical, but look, I like the look of it. It's a fun driving line, and yeah, it just kind of lets you just have fun. Can't really explain much more than that, except to say that, yeah, this is where I start. Every time I sit down for a gaming session, I will sit down with Rock of Rages, and it just gets me warmed up. Now, I usually only play it once or twice, and for the purpose of this video, I'll stop there, but that has to be within my top 3, because I play it almost every time I play Trials. And I didn't, make that decision, a conscious decision, it's just what I gravitated towards, so for that reason alone, it has to be in my top 3. The next one, so I wanted to award a track, I say award like I'm doing a ceremony here, but I wanted to select a track based on the visuals. Now, to me, and you'll notice a pattern in a second, it's also an extreme track, and it's going to be Charred Remains. And to me, this represents, again, an extreme track. I mean, I love the extremes, but the visuals, how much impact the lava and just the orangeness and the heat that you get from the sense, the warmth that comes off the screen. I just love this. I mean, looking at the lava there, it looks a bit messed up when you're really close to it, but at a distance, it's amazing. Now, again, I like this track more for how it looks than the driving line, although I will say the driving line is cool. It's just harder than Rock of Rages, so I may screw this up a little bit. But the driving line is super technical. I don't know, again, there's just something about it, but as an extreme track, it's fun to ride. And that to me is the test, alright? There's harder tracks and there's more technical tracks, but this is one that I enjoy just riding. And I mean, I'm like that with a lot of tracks, but there's something special about this one, and again, I think it's the environment here. This driving line in any other, and this would be interesting, but this driving line somewhere else, I don't think would have as much impact on me. So I'm going to put this as the number 2 favorite track because of how much the environment adds to what is a really fun driving line. But the environment, like that, and actually those little particles there, I love that. Just really subtle, going through the air. It feels like you're in this environment. So for that reason, and like the little spinning cogs and stuff, but yeah, for that reason, it had to be up there. That little round section there, like there's a couple of parts here that will really catch you out. Like, you can see me here, I'm a lot more faults. Again, I've zeroed and platinumed all these, but yeah, it's a really hard driving line, and it looks awesome. And I think it was the first time we had that, oh, maybe not the first time we had that little incline thing, but, and even this ending here, you get all the way to the end and stuff this up. It's tough, but it is beautiful. So yeah, visually more than anything, driving line, technical, extreme, but the driving, the visual, the visual on this is what puts it at number 2. Now, the moment you've been waiting for like 5 minutes. My favorite. Now, I'll be honest and say that my favorite. So before I'm going to give an honorable mention to a track from Trials Evolution, which is Way of the Ninja. Way of the Ninja was probably is still that, and I think Trials and Tribulations from HD for different reasons, but they were also very, very memorable tracks for me. Way of the Ninja, because it was extreme, it was technical, but it was nothing to do with the visuals and more about the driving line, and it was a sort of endurance extreme. So I have to mention those two as special ones. Way of the Machine was something I considered. I don't like the futuristic aesthetic as much as that's a cool one, I don't have as much fond memories. So I kind of just have to be a bit of a Trials fanboy here and go for Inferno. As much for the fact that it's a legacy, like it is this thing that has been in every Trials game, and Inferno is just such a special part of the Trials series. It's the track that every Trials fan waits for. When you play through a game, this is the track that you want to see, right? I don't care if this isn't the hardest extreme in the game. This is the one you wait to see. The cool thing about this version, and I'm just trying to get my memory right here, but I think this also features objects and obstacles from other Trials games. Yeah. So this is like the Trials HD wheels, for example. So this track in particular had some really cool Trials throwbacks, and given that everybody knows how awesome the Inferno tracks are, stuffed it. You know, you stupid track. You know how good the Inferno tracks are. Seeing them sort of pay homage to Trials games of old, very special. But yeah, look, the driving line is cool, but I think this is it's more a sentimental favorite than anything. I did not have fun trying to zero fault this when the game first came out, but just I think the Trials purist in me just couldn't go past any Trials game without saying Inferno. Now, in saying that, yeah, I think from Evolution it was Way of the Ninja as opposed to this, but for me, it's just. Yeah, if I want to, I mean, and again, the visuals, right? Again, I don't think this would be anywhere near as cool without the background and the literal inferno that you're surrounded by. So, yeah, I think now I'm sure there's plenty more, but I think I had to I had to select those tracks for that reason. So, Rocket Rages, because I just gravitate towards it whenever I play a game. It was Eye of the Storm up until, I won't say recently, but I did play that every time I logged on, and now I've kind of migrated towards Rocket Rages. Shard remains just because of the visuals, and Inferno because I'm a Trials fanboy, and Inferno's a special. And if Inferno isn't a special thing to you now, you probably need to play some more, because it has to have this sentimental thing about it. So that's it. So, Bis Queffin, that was my quick rundown of, I guess, what I think my favourite Trials tracks are in this game. I will actually give another honourable mention, and I've forgotten the name of it now, but I think in the Awesome Level Max DLC. So the one thing I screwed up, I will say visually, Awesome Level Max is just better. The track design, everything is amazing. I'm gonna do a consolation prize here for Short Circuit. This one, because of the theme, and I'm not much for gimmicky tracks, but the way that this theme was executed, plus the driving line and just how organic and natural it felt, I don't mind this. Like, it is very gimmicky, but again, it's a really fun track to play. And you know, the concept of being inside a computer And the Mutatus Easter egg in there as well. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. But there's a Easter egg in here by Mutatus, one of the level designers, or logic gurus. I don't even know what his title is. All around nice and smart man. But like, you know, and seeing this at the end, the only thing I don't like is that time delay. I wish you could have cut straight to this, you know? Yeah. I wish that was I wish it just sort of happened straight away, but you needed that. So yeah, I would have zoomed out at the end. Minor criticism. But anyway, yeah, I figured I'd mention that more from the theme. So there you go. You've got one because I think it's fun, one because I think the visuals are amazing, one because I'm a Trials fanboy and Inferno special, and one from a theme and execution and driving line stuff. There you go. Please let me know in the comments. I didn't even think about this until Bis Queffin suggested it, but I'm actually really interested to hear the conversation that this might generate. So yeah, let me know below, and I'm very interested to hear from other people. Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for watching all the fun stuff. I'll be back soon. Cheers.